Hey guys, Chelsea here from Making Manzanita, and today we are going to be walking you through the process of oiling a wooden deck. So we recently built a wooden deck in this area of our backyard, and spoiler alert, turned out amazing. We have a full tutorial on how we built the deck, including the free woodworking plan, so I'll put that down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. But today we're mostly focusing on how we sealed the deck with decking oil, and we are using our Wagner FLEXiO 3000 paint sprayer for that. So let's start with the supplies. Here is what you're gonna need if you're going to oil a wood deck in the same method that we did. So of course you need your sprayer. We again have the FLEXiO 3000 by Wagner, and we are using this nozzle here. This is the eye spray nozzle, and it is perfect for a project like this. Now for the deck oil or stain, we chose Paraffin penetrating oil finish. It is a Brazilian Rosewood Oil, and we've used it in the past a couple times on another wood deck, and it works great. Next, you will need plastic sheeting if you're using a sprayer. That is to just protect the area from overspray. Then you'll need a paintbrush that is made for oil-based materials. And then you will need a deck cleaner and wood brightener. Even though we have new wood, you definitely don't want to miss this step. It'll help the oil soak in better to the wood. And then you're going to want to have some painter's rags. It's best to buy these in bulk. You'll just save a little money. These are actually just like t-shirt fabric that's cut up, and we got those at Home Depot. Then to clean your sprayer when you're done, you're going to want to have lacquer thinner or mineral spirits. You want to definitely have some safety gear like a mask, goggles, and some gloves. All right, let's get started. So first step, which I have already done to this wood here, is you want to prep it by using a deck cleaner and a wood brightener. So even though this is brand new wood that we installed for the wood deck, it does have a slight mill glaze over it from the lumber mill. So you don't want to miss this step even when you're working with new wood. So you just want to follow the instructions on your specific wood cleaner and wood brightener. Ours were pretty simple. You spray it on, scrub it, and then wipe it all down. So next you want to prep your area, and you'll probably know if you've worked with a sprayer before, there is a slight bit of overspray, so you want to protect the area. For us, this was just simple as putting up some plastic sheeting on the house around the deck and then taping it up. And we have some rough brick siding for our house, so it wasn't super easy to get that to stick. We tried our hardest to get it to stick to the bottom there so the plastic would stay down, and it would just not stick to the brick. So you'll see what I did here in a second, but I ended up having to just very carefully go around the edge of the house, just down there at the base, with a paintbrush, because I didn't want it to get on the house at all, and I was worried about that plastic kind of flying up. So if you had a normal house with regular siding, you definitely wouldn't have this problem, but because our brick was so rough, I did have to take just this extra step, and you can see here I'm doing it. It didn't take very long to just go along the edge of the house. All right, so step 3, you want to prepare your paint sprayer for the stain. So you want to visually check your filters there on the side, and we have a whole separate video about how to change those if you need to do that. So the top nozzle there is the air power. This nozzle here is the material flow, and then this red little button at the top is your spray width, whether it's narrow or wide. And then on the front of the paint sprayer, you want to just be sure that you have this going the right way. So this way if you're spraying up and down, and then this way if you're spraying side to side. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing side to side spraying on our deck, and let's get going. So the inside here, you'll see that this little tube, you can adjust it to either go forward or backwards. So if you're spraying downward, which is what we're going to be doing on the deck, you want to be sure that tube is facing forward so you pick up all the material. Next, you just want to open up your stain or oil and give it a nice stir, just because some of the materials may separate if it's sitting a long time. And then you can pour the oil into the canister. Now, I realize I made a huge mess here. I've got to figure out a better way to do this. I always end up making a huge mess. It's just when the can is full, I just end up spilling it all over the place. So be sure that you're pouring it down where you have a tarp or something underneath, just to protect everything. Then you can get the canister tightened onto the paint sprayer, and again, just wipe everything down so that you can get it nice and tight, and then you can just start spraying. Honestly, it's that easy, guys. So in this step, all you can see is I'm spraying the oil onto the deck. I'm going row by row, and then per the instructions for the oil that I'm using, you want to let it sit no longer than 10 to 20 minutes on the surface because you don't want it to dry on the surface. For this reason, it's pretty important that you also be sure that you're not applying the stain in direct sun because it'll dry a lot faster than you can wipe it up. So that's why I waited until the end of the day so it was nice and shady. Now, because this is an oil-based stain, it is important that you follow a few things, and that is putting your rags in water, and then for cleaning the sprayer, which is the next step here, you need to use mineral spirits or a lacquer thinner. Now, I, to be honest, was not really looking forward to this. I've never used an oil-based product in our sprayer, and I thought it was going to be a huge hassle, but honestly, the process was the exact same, except you use that lacquer thinner. So you just fill it about a quarter of the way, fill the canister about a quarter of the way with lacquer thinner, and then just spray it in a spare bucket or metal container. And then you just want to wipe all of the things down with more of that lacquer thinner. And I just used like a Scotch sponge here. And honestly, I was shocked. I was able to get so much of the dried paint off of the outside of my paint sprayer. It looks almost brand new. It was looking pretty straggly before. So I definitely wouldn't avoid oil-based products in the future because it was seriously not that bad to clean. All right, so let's take a look at the before again, just to remind everybody how we started, just this blank graveled area at our back door. And now here it looks with the brand new cedar deck that's all pretty with our oil. I think it turned out amazing. I was kind of shocked at the color tone. We've used this exact oil on another wood deck that has old wood, and the color is a lot darker. So I know that this is going to age over time and it'll get a little bit darker, and we'll just continue to maintain it. Usually we spray a new round of oil on the deck like every year or so, and that's the best way to maintain an oil deck according to the Pinnafin's instructions. And the one thing I love about this oil is that you don't have to sand anything when you're applying it in the future. You just put on a new layer. The Wagner FLEXiO 3000 paint sprayer works like a charm to oil this deck. I know that there are several different ways you can apply deck oil, but I think this is my favorite because we didn't have to buy anything. We already had our Wagner paint sprayer, and we didn't have to buy any applicators or extra materials. We were able to use what we had, and again, the oil-based material cleaned up like a charm in the paint sprayer. I was worried about that, and it ended up working out perfectly. So thank you so much to Wagner for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the process, just let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to push that thumbs up button. And while you're here, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We share tons of DIY and renovating tips, and we're always taking suggestions for new videos. So just drop those in the comments below if you have any. All right, guys, have a great day.